This is the highest quality pressing in the industry. The entire album is manufactured in our own plant, so we know what is happening from the very start, to the second we mail the records to your listeners.
Quality control captivates your party patrol. Your mind, body, and soul flow. The bell tolls like the rhythm explode. Big, bad, and bold, B-boys of old. Many styles we hold, let the story be told. Whether platinum or gold, we use breath control. So let the beat unfold. Intro on drum roll. We beat the lick like E-Tash and J-Roll. We harass niggas like we was the po-po. We can rule the world without Curtis and still blow. Finesse from SP to Casio. Your chance ain't deaf, you ain't fresh, you so-so.
Fasten your seatbelts. Are you ready? Well, let's go.
Yeah, man, records. Records are drugs. They're addictive. If I got 100 quid, I go to town, I'll buy records more than I'd buy a pair of jeans or shoes, you know? I think I'm doing my part as much as I can to try and, you know, prolong the longevity of vinyl. I just think it literally is how music should be heard, because it's a physical thing with an album. It's like you have to stand up and get your record player to turn your record over after 20 minutes. So you're physically interacting. You know, a needle has to go in a groove. I've seen 40-year-old women who don't look as good as these records. People who cherish music will always prefer vinyl. It's more personal, you know, you interact with it, so it keeps me fit. Up and down all day turning records over. Let's put on the one. The most famous one. Daddy. This is the one that, who sampled the Satan bit off this? Some dance band. Used to wear lights. What are they called? The Orb. Check it out.
Then you regret something you haven't done. And by the way,
check it out.
See your mom this weekend?
Play this as loud as I could to piss my mum off.
Satan, Satan, Satan.
That's rocking. I don't put that on when the missus is in though. Don't think she likes that one.
DJ for me is someone who makes people dance, and that's exactly what I do. It's like taking a crowd on a roller coaster ride. You sort of building up, and then you sort of going down a little bit more, and then you build right back up again. It's like sex, basically. It's like you like find this bit, you're like. I live in Lewisham in South London, and every Saturday I used to go down to this second-hand shop, and the guy used to know me in there. He used to basically give me a chair. I used to sit in the corner, and I spend my Saturday afternoons with headphones on and go through these big boxes of records. It's this continuous cycle of finding breaks, finding these little tiny samples. You put them on, you put the needles to where the break is, and you just stay there for hours, just cutting this break up and just making it into a completely different track altogether. I do DJ workshops, and like kids kind of like, oh, can I scratch a CD? And it's not a CD, it's a record. I don't think that people are going to get have the same love for CDs as they have for vinyl. You know, it's just part of you, it's in your blood. It's just the smell of it, the feel of it.
Now then, have you heard of sleeve facing?
Oddly enough, no. What about freeze framing?
No.
Okay, they're both types of modern art. They are taking the internet by storm. People do things like that, pretend they're Adamant or Johnny Cash or whatever behind album covers, but it is very, very artistic. A lot of people do it. Don't knock it if you haven't tried it.
Get a record or a book or whatever and you put it with your face, take a photo, you sleep face. It's that simple. It might be the thing that saves the recording industry, you know, but we just want it to be what it is to everybody, you know, and everybody takes it for what it is. It's got a hole in it! It's a bucket got a hole in it, fellas! I'll have days when I kind of kick back against vinyl and think, why am I buying records? It's daft, I can't put them in the car, I can't put them in the computer. They're not so easy to, you know, to transport about, and I think daft, and I'll buy CDs, but genuinely I buy the record because the record actually sounds better. Take a recording of a song, you know, in the studio, and then you imagine that's a potato, right? And then you put it onto CD, or you know, you have to break it up into files, so you chop it up and you make it into like chips, yeah? And that's a CD or an MP3. When you then put it back together again to hear it, you take all the chips and you put them back together into the shape of a potato. And it looks like a potato, but it's still chips. Whereas a vinyl recording is the potato. You never have to break it up. There's kind of a natural death already occurring in the recording industry, and that's the way it has to be.
In the general public, I think vinyl is basically is dying and it's going to die. But when it comes to DJ culture and hip hop culture, as long as there's people like me, then it will stay alive. It's always going to have a pulse.
I'll always want to buy records, much more than I want to buy CDs. You know, because I can just sit down, stick a record on, have a cup of tea, and just do what it's intended for, listen to it.
You can't chop and change, you can't skip forward without going up to it and moving it. It involves a certain amount of patience and time and love, and I think that kind of sticks. That's what music's about for me.
It was out there and living strong well before I was born, and I think it'll continue to do so. Because completists and friends of just decent music want decent music presented decently, so they'll just go out and buy a vinyl version of it. Too much time. I've got a reissue as well.
I got too much time. Too much time.
Just want to wear that out, I got that. Ready.
I got too much time to be without love.